Good morning, everyone. I'm Suzanne Taylor King. Thank you for being here this morning for the condensed version of a 5-day challenge that I've run numerous times. And we're basically cutting out all the talk about me, all the talk about my clients, all the fluff, and we're going to get you right to the action taking spots in this 5-day challenge. And if you choose to really participate in this, I'm going to promise you will have a new client by Friday. And if you don't, you get a session with me. If you take the action that I'm recommending today, decide that you're actually going to do what we talk about today. I'm going to spend time actually working with you to do what I recommend today. So any questions before we get started? Mix like a deer in the headlights. Any questions before we get started? All right, here we go. I want to first talk about something I do with my mastermind group, and I encourage people to make a list of 20 connections that you either follow or that you want to work with. Now, this could be 2 lists of 20, but for simplicity, let's start with a list of 20 people from your existing connections that could be incredible clients for you. Now, I have my mastermind group do something with a list of 20 people who do something similar to them that they are going to interact with on LinkedIn in the comments and other social media platforms. This, I want you to focus on 20 people who could be a client for you. So if you need to look through your LinkedIn connections, you need to think about past clients that you've worked with. Mick actually deals with companies. So I want you to go to Google, Mick, and actually Google who your favorite type of company is to work with and make a list, a hot list of 20. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you're knocking on doors or if you're meeting people in person. So Nolan's been doing a lot of networking recently, in-person networking. So I'm sure there are some people within that who would be ideal either customers for you or could further those customer conversations. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask yourself these questions. So we're going to make your list, and then each of these people, we need to know these 10 things. What motivates the person? Tom and I, if you don't know Tom, you need to know Tom. He does some amazing work with StoryBrand. And anyone who knows me knows I recommend that book all the time. And one of the things that comes out of your work with Tom is this ideal client profile that was so incredible for me. And these questions will help you do that for yourself. And if you need a really good profile of your ideal client, talk to Tom. So you need to know what motivates them. What gets your ideal clients juices flowing? What excites them? So anybody that researches me, technology. You want to talk SaaS, you want to talk a way to hack the system, you want to talk about some new software platform. Yep, you're going to get on my good side with that. So know your people and know what they like to talk about. Number 2, what has that person accomplished? So hopefully you're writing these questions down, right? Good morning, John's cat.
Yeah, this is Sputnik. He'll come for most calls. He'll make an appearance. So
Nice.
Like...
Nice. If my dog could walk up on camera, she would too. All right. So number 1, what motivates the person? Number 2, what has this person accomplished? Is it certifications? Is it an award? I'll tell you, somebody I connected with looked in my background and see this medal hanging right here. They recognized that medal and they were like, yo, when did you do a Spartan race? And we had an incredible rapport building conversation around my athleticism and also how I apply that athleticism to business. And I ended up landing a client because of that. So you never know what's going to, trigger somebody into feeling comfortable with you or building rapport. All right. 3, what common interests might you have? Like a Spartan race, like swimming, like running, whatever your hobby is, find people that might have that similar connection. And how did you meet the person? This is something that can tell you a lot about, now I've met each one of you in different places, but for the most part, when I bring a group of people together, typically it's because I've met them online. So they all have that in common. All of you have in common that you're in the online space, you're part of a community. Maybe you met me networking, maybe you saw some of my content. What do your people have in common? And then who is the person's peers? So if you're connecting, like Nolan's connecting with realtors for his one business, who are that person's peers that you could get talking about you? Number 5, my most important one, who is your ideal client's competition? So imagine somebody connecting with me and saying, wow, Sue, you remind me of Tony Robbins, or, oh, you remind me of Mel Robbins or Brene Brown, right? It's going to have an instant resonance with me because they're big names who do what I do. So start thinking like that. Good morning, Sarah. Okay, number 6, what unique benefits do you offer for that person that other people who do what you do don't offer? So if you're looking to work with coaches, what do you offer coaches that other coaches who coach coaches don't offer? What's that differentiation factor? Mick has an awesome differentiation factor. And it resonates with a certain type of person, right, Mick?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Number 7, what excites you about knowing or working with this person? If I'm not passionate about my clients, if I don't believe in them more than they believe in themselves, what good is our work together going to do? How am I going to pull them forward to the future? So I want you to think about that for this list of 20 people. What excites you about what they do and how you could help them do it better? And number 8, what do you believe is possible for this person? What if you weren't afraid to say that? What if you weren't afraid to say what is possible for this ideal client you're going to be reaching out to? Number 9, I want you to be really, really sure of your current role to that person. How do they see you? Good morning, Denise. So how does that person see you? And then lastly, the most important one, how do you become indispensable to that person? So this isn't about selling someone right off the bat, but if you become indispensable to someone, if you become the go-to person for technology answers or real estate referrals or healthy living information or sales information or how to save money on certain business things, right? You become the go-to person for that to this list of 20 people. And Denise and Sarah, just to catch you up, we are doing a list of 20 people who could be clients. So not 20 people that we've talked about before in my mastermind group, 20 people to follow and comment and interact with. This is 20 people from your existing network, followers, email list, and I want you to be super strategic and pick 20 people who could be clients by Friday. Clients by Friday, members in your membership by Friday. And anybody have questions on those questions? Want me to read them over one more time? Okay. All right. Number one, what motivates the person? Number two, what has the person accomplished? Number three, what common interests might you have? Now, everybody in this room knows me. Do you feel you have at least one common interest with me? 2, 4, 3, yes, yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Suzanne,
Yeah.
can you tell us how to buy one of those Spartan medals so I'd have that common interest with you as well?
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Got to do it. You actually have to do it, just like the New York Marathon. And I couldn't do that. But we do have athleticism in common. And I set a goal to do a Spartan race 3 months before I registered and completed it. I can't say it was perfect, but that's something we have in common. All right. Number 4, who are this person's peers? So if you're reaching out to, say, a car dealership, who is that person's peers? Who's the owner of that car dealership's peers? What are the other car dealerships in the area? And then competition. What unique benefit do you offer? That's your superpower. That's your, $1 million statement. That's the thing that makes you different from everyone else who does what you do. What excites you about knowing or working with this person? What do you believe is possible for this person? And what is the current status or role? How do they see you? Do they see you as a mentor? Do they see you as an inspiration? Do they see you as a community leader? How do they see you? And make sure you know how they see you. And lastly, how do you become an indispensable asset to that person? So you're all here for a free training. That's one of the assets you get from knowing me, either working with me or being in my free community. That's one of the things you get. And I'd like to believe that you'll get a lot of value from today. So, all right. Now, what I want you to do, this is the action steps. I want you to take 5 to 10 minutes and look through your LinkedIn connections, your Facebook connections, whatever your platform of choice. If you're an Instagrammer, go to Instagram and make a list of 20 potential clients for you. 20 potential clients. And this could be someone you've already talked to before, and you just know that they're struggling with something you help with, and you haven't quite reached out yet. And let's not worry about technology or tools or spreadsheets. This is literally just a piece of paper with 20 names on it. This is how simple it can be to have 1 or more new clients by Friday with focus. Because there's lots of different tools we can use, right? And I'll be the first to tell you, I love a good tool and I love a good software, but nothing takes the place of making a list and going and getting those people. And that's what I mean by client creation. Any questions? Okay. All right. I'm going to give you 5 minutes on the clock. Mick, it's not forward to the future. It's back to the future. I like it. All right. Who wants to be a guinea pig and have me go on their LinkedIn or Facebook profile and find them 10 people?
Me.
Who said that?
Nolan.
Nolan and Tom?
Yeah.
Okay. Nolan and Tom. Tom, what's your platform of choice?
LinkedIn.
And Nolan?
Same.
Same. Okay, perfect. Let me just log into LinkedIn. All right. And this is super easy for the two of you. So I'm actually going to do both of you. Okay. Here's Nolan. All right. Who are you looking to sign up immediately? Real estate agents, right?
Yep. Real estate agents or
Okay.
team leaders. Yep.
All right. So you're going to go to your home button on LinkedIn, and I want you to do this behind. So go to your home button and you're going to see your profile and go right here and see how many people have viewed your profile. And Tom, you can do the same thing. Log into LinkedIn. That's the first place to start, is this list. Who's viewed your profile? Make sure you're connected to all of those people. And if there's anybody there that you've had a conversation with and you'd like to make it official, add them to your list of 20. Second thing to do is go to the second little tab here, My Network. Go to Your Connections and do a search for Realtor. Okay, now I'm searching my connections for you, Nolan, and this is something else you can do. I'm connected to 196 realtors. So what you could easily do is go to my profile, go to my connections, see who you want to connect with out of this 196 that would be second connections for you. So you can see when you toggle first, second, or third, you're going to connect second, and you're going to go through and message a couple of people to get connected with them. And if you want to send them by me, perfectly fine. I actually know this guy really well. Look through that list, and if there's somebody you want to meet and somebody we're connected in common with, you can absolutely do that. Now, if you want to find cold people, let's go back to the home button and we're going to search realtor again and people. Now, this is going to bring up every realtor on LinkedIn, 1.7 million of them. So you're going to go to here, second connection, show results. All right, that brings it down to about 60,000. Then we're going to go to location and we're going to say Greater Philadelphia, show results. Still a lot, 4,900. So how about we go to current company and we'll just say Keller Williams, because I've worked with realtors from Keller Williams in the past and have a current client with them. All right, so now there's 519 potential Keller Williams real estate agents that I could connect to that could be clients of mine, that I could get on the phone. I could send them something of value that's helped my other real estate clients in the past. So you see where I'm going with that, right? If I'm intentional and I pick David, Justina, Kristen, and Valerie, and I send them something of value that my other real estate clients have used, it's going to start a conversation. Or maybe I just start a conversation with, I see you're a realtor with Keller Williams. How have you enjoyed their leadership training in the past? Whatever common, through that list of 10 questions again, what do you have in common with that person? Make sense, Nolan?
Yes, it does.
Awesome. All right, let's go to Tom.
Here I am.
All right, here we are. I'm going to go back to the home. Oh, get your face out of the way.
Suzanne, I just
Yeah.
wanted to confirm, you can see who's viewed your profile because you have premium LinkedIn, correct?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Listen, if you don't have it, you don't have to have it. But when I tell you, it's probably one of the most robust things you can have for your business, not only for doing research, seeing who's viewed your profile, seeing what companies have viewed your profile, if you're doing trainings, things like that, but also for this tab right up here, this learning tab. And for those of you that don't know about LinkedIn Learning, it is a literal treasure trove of content and courses, all for free. All for free. So to me, that's worth the price of it every month, but you have to do what works for you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to go for Tom. All right, here's Tom's profile. We're going to look at the whole thing, and we're going to go to your connections. All right. So do this. Don't watch what I'm doing. Do it in the background because we're going to have different results. So you're going to go to your connections, which is your network right here. And when you look through your network, just scroll through and see if there's somebody who's struggling with their content, who's struggling. I'm going to pick somebody. All right. You see this one right here, Tom?
Yeah, Alan.
Okay. Do you know him?
Very well, yeah.
Okay. Do you know, have you worked with him in the past?
No, and I don't think he is an entrepreneur anymore.
Okay. Well, that's
I think he's retired from that and does nonprofit work now.
okay. Nonprofit could use what you offer 100%.
It's true, but they usually don't want to pay for what I offer.
Okay. Is that your own belief or?
No, that's what I've run into, but
Okay,
I haven't worked with very large nonprofits. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. How about this one, Daryl?
Yeah, he's somebody I know as well. I'd like to work with him. He's not picked up yet.
Okay. All
So
right.
I'll add him.
All right. So add him to your list of 20. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go to his profile. And it doesn't look like he's super active on LinkedIn at all. I'm looking at
Right.
his activity now. Let's see, posts. He hasn't posted in 3 weeks, 4 months. So he's not active on LinkedIn. So I would reach out to him and say, out of curiosity, where are your clients for scope coming from? I would, maybe you talk to him about being referral partners. Maybe you talk to him about, connecting him to some of your connections. But bottom line is he's missing huge opportunities for his leadership development company because he's not on LinkedIn. He's not connecting with people. He's not posting regularly. So out of curiosity, what are you currently doing for client generation? What are you doing for, how are you engaging with people? And he might say, I'm struggling right now.
Right.
Well, if I could help you out with that, would that be something you'd want to talk about? Because the simple act of having his story brand done and posting content about it is going to generate business
Yeah.
for him, right? So that's
Totally.
how you become indispensable. You're not necessarily offering to do his story brand Bible for him, but you're offering him value that comes from hanging around you.
Yes, absolutely.
So what I want you to do is just look through all of your people the exact same way. Now, if you like working with coaches, you like working with coaches like me, right? What are the things we had in common? What attracted you to working with me? I knew I needed you, right? So that was easier. But if you like the relationship that we have, how do you meet more people like me? How do you meet more coaches like me? Find out where I hang out and then go find people like me.
So Suzanne, where do you hang out?
So I'm on LinkedIn mostly. I hang out in my community and I'm in 2 other communities, Success Champions Networking Group, and then a community of podcasters led by Pablo Gonzalez. So they're the communities that I hang out in. And you could meet coaches like me by hanging out in my community full of coaches or just interacting with the other coaches that are in my comments on LinkedIn.
Totally.
So now go a little deeper on me. Where did I go to school? Who do I follow? All right, so I went to the Flourishing Center in Philadelphia, which was a positive psychology institute. I'm into mental fitness training like an athlete. So mental performance coaches might be your mindset kind of people. Athletic coaches might be your kind of people. Do a search for those because they're going to get what you say. Any other questions?
No, that's great.
Okay. Denise, Tom is my story brand guy. All right. Anybody else have any questions about finding their 20 clients, 20 prospects?
I'm just noticing I'm going back through my messages.
Mhm.
I'm like finding gold in there. I'm like, oh crap,
Yeah.
I didn't follow that person. It's funny, you just look. You
Well,
just have the
that's
intention
half
to
of
do
it. That's half of
Yeah.
it.
You
Truly.
make the decision to actually sit down and go, right, let's actually, like put all the people that I want to speak to in one place. And suddenly
Mhm.
it's like the universe provides.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be, a fancy thing. Just this week, make the intention of those 20 people. And next week, whoever you haven't had a conversation with, they go onto next week's list and you get 10 more or you get 20 more. And so if I could add personally 20 new people a month to one of my groups, my accountability group, my mastermind group, or even 20 new people a week to my community, my free community, what do you think that would do for my business? What would it do for your business? Denise, 20 people a week into your membership, 20 people a month into your membership. What would that do?
That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably not have to do anything else. Just work with those people.
Yeah.
That would be nice. Rather than having to do all of this other stuff, all of the social media and the this and the that. If, this is really where I'm seeing value over and over here in LinkedIn and following these kind of basically emulating what you've been doing the past, whatever, 6 or 8 or 10 months.
Yeah.
And really, it's amazing how something so simple, it's in front of us. We all have LinkedIn, we all have connections, but very few people are using them. I think the way that the platform was even intended.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, I think it's amazing.
Well, I think I've said 100 times, if you're not using your social media to fill your Zoom room or to fill your community, and I know John is like, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoom room. Yeah.
fill your Zoom room with your ideal people, and you end up not needing to pitch anyone. You don't need to go into hard sell mode, because your ideal clients are going to rise to the top and they're going to reach out to you. I host a monthly event just for coaches, and I doubled down after a year of hosting this event. I doubled down on my inviting strangers. So inviting coaches who I didn't know, wasn't connected to, and it was strategic. I planned it. I automated the first message. And I think I'm going to have like 80 people come Wednesday night to my Zoom room, which, if that's how many people said they were coming, I'm not getting my hopes up, but if 80 people said they were coming and I end up with 35 or 40, that's still double what I normally have. So that means my efforts for the last week were right on target. More awareness, more people. All right, go ahead and make your list of 20. Let me know if you have questions. Yes, and please, Tom just shared his contact info in the chat. Make sure you all do the same thing. And everybody here is in the Idea Lab community, so make sure you connect with each other. You can use the directory. If you meet somebody at one of my events and there's somebody you want to have a conversation with, you can use it. Use the directory and say, oh, what was that lady's name? Susan what? Look up the Susans. Oh, there she is. Here's her LinkedIn. And you can click right on it from the community. All right, now I'm going to find 10 customers or 10 potential for my friend Mick, because I haven't seen him in a while and I love him so much. All right, so I'm going to share Google. Mick, tell me who your ideal business is.
Certa Pro painters.
Okay. Okay. Now you can look at this. You can get Certa Pro painter locations. You see how that comes up for Google?
Mm-hmm.
See if that comes up for you, and then just click more locations. And you're going to have a list. Now this is near me, Medford, Cherry Hill, Mount Laurel. You can help somebody at a distance, right?
100%.
Okay. So
The further, the better.
The further, the better. I love that. So look at this. Look at all of these franchised locations. That's a list of 20 right there. And do you cold call them? Do you reach out? Do you pick up the phone and call them?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, ideally stopping in is better. Face to
Mhm.
face is always better, but with remote locations,
Yeah.
phone call. And it's not even it's kind of a cold call. We do have a relationship with corporate.
Mhm.
So I have a lead in. We're a
Okay.
preferred vendor. So that helps.
Okay. And do you have a script that you follow when you reach out cold?
I mean, I have a template,
Okay.
main points I need to cover. I'm typically a script person, but this one I kind of just hit the highlights.
Okay. Okay. So does that feel like a list you want to work on this week?
100%.
Okay. All right. Go to Google in back of what we're doing right now and search Serta Pro Painters Delaware Valley. And then expand that list. Print it out if you need to, if you don't want to copy down any of the information. And really, Google is all you need. I used to have a software that I used that scrubbed Google. So it pulled results from Google and told me who didn't have a website, who didn't have an SSL certificate, who didn't have SEO, and I used to hand that to my salesperson for my marketing agency, and it was great. I don't need to use that anymore. But Google has literally all the information you need if you're looking B2B. How about you, Sarah or Denise? Go ahead. Question.
I struggle with this.
Mm-hmm.
I look at my list and I'm like, coach, workout person. And I'm like, okay, who am I trying to, I know I know in my head who I'm trying to connect with, but I look on LinkedIn and I'm going, all right, none of these people are the people I'm looking for. And I know that's not true.
Well, I would say, since you are looking for experts in the health and wellness field, and then you're looking for clients, it's two different types of content, two types of reach out. Really, that makes it more difficult.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you, Denise. Make things harder for
Me
yourself.
too. Me too. Make
I
things
know.
harder for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like a good challenge. So I would say those people that you are connected to on LinkedIn, all of your experts, the people that they are connected to are your ideal people. So it's other people's people that you're really looking to get connected with. Pick one of your experts, look through my connections, look through every one of your experts' connections, and decide based on intuition, looks, profession, whatever it is, and invite those people to an event, or invite them to connect and then invite them to an event.
Got it.
I had a dream about an event last night for you, the sedentary entrepreneur.
Suzanne, just for people that don't know, Suzanne knows my business better than I do. The sedentary entrepreneur. I like.
Yeah. So who's sitting down right now out of all of us here in this meeting? Okay.
I know you're not.
I'm not. Well, because you can see I'm rocking a baby over here.
Yeah, that's what I do when I'm standing at my desk too.
Why does that never go away? Once you have a child on your hip, I don't care how old that child is, you still do this.
I just started moving on my under the desk elliptical. My sit down
I
elliptical.
want one of those.
Your sit down elliptical?
Yeah, Costco.
Nice. So it's like a little little
Yeah.
thing. Nice. I like
I
it.
need one of
Consciously
those.
switch to standing
Right,
mode.
Costco elliptical. Okay, I'm going to get it.
Peer
Costco.
pressure, John. Peer pressure.
Yeah, like, oh my God.
All right, Sarah, do you have questions about finding
Mm.
your 20 people for this week? Unmute yourself, sweetie.
No, I think that that's really clear. Really, really good advice too. I love it. Yeah,
Okay.
great
All right.
stuff.
All right, awesome. All right, I'm going to give you 5. Finish up your list, and then we're going to go into what about you and what you need to say to those 20 people.
What I can just add from doing some of this is that, like, it's amazing when you reach out to people after having done a little bit of homework, and you actually notice stuff about them. They're
Mhm.
like, "Oh, you read my thing."
Uh-huh.
It's like, I don't know. It's like people are just starved for connection.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's like there's so much of this like cold pitch slapping going on. Please
Mhm.
connect. Okay, buy my stuff. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Where you just go, hey, like, I noticed what you did there. That's really cool. People are like, oh, wow.
Thank you for
And
noticing.
thank you for noticing. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And just being, so this is gold. This is absolute dynamite.
I love it. Could
And
I
I
get
love your
that?
questions.
Could I get that in writing? No, just kidding.
Sure, you can have a video.
But you see what I did there, right? Like
Yeah.
John's saying awesome stuff about me. We've never worked together. We met on LinkedIn. We had a one-on-one Zoom. I forget even how we got connected in the first place, but it doesn't really matter because now
Yeah.
we've met each other. We get each other's vibe. I know what he does. He knows what I do. And he's here getting value from me today. I'm sure I'll get some more value from him. He does awesome LinkedIn events, which is all my mindset. Use your LinkedIn to fill your Zoom room. So you see how we connected. It's pretty cool, right? It's like a
Yeah.
case study for this class. Awesome.
Yeah. You made a post about how most webinars are shitty. And like totally true. And I would never met you before, but I read the post and I was like, I'm not having that. So I just commented and I said challenge accepted with a exclamation mark. Because like I'm the
Nice.
webinar guy. And Suzanne was like, and then we started chatting and the rest is history.
Nice. Well, hopefully this
So-
hasn't been shitty. Hopefully this
Oh, you-
is like real. 'Cause,
The opposite of shitty. What's the opposite of shitty? Awesome. gold.
value driven and action oriented. I want you to be taking action right now while we're talking. And when I move on in a minute or two, to tell you what you kind of need to do with these people, what you're going to say, how you're going to engage. And then by Friday, out of that list of 20, I believe you should have at least 5 who you're going to be able to make an offer to. And I'm doing this right along with you. I have my list of 20. Every week I make a list of 20. Who are the 20 people I want to engage with and invite to my community? And because I don't want just anybody. I don't want to send mass invitations to 10,000 LinkedIn connections, because then who are we going to end up with in the community? And if you approach what you're doing the same way, you end up with better people who are more likely to pay you, because we all are in business. All right, you guys ready? Ready to jump into what you need to do, what you need to say? Yeah, Mike, you all right? Okay. All right, here we go. Now, the first most important thing is your social intelligence, your social emotional intelligence. Can you read other people and know if they are the right clients for you? So the first thing is self-awareness, reading your own emotions. If you're in a bad mood, or you're desperate for money, or you're feeling overwhelmed and frazzled, don't call anyone. Shift yourself first. Because trust me, just trust me when I say, when you show up with the, in the back of your mind, oh my God, I need a client. Oh my God, I need to pay my bills. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. People can read it. So check your own emotions first and do what you need to do. I don't care if you need to put in music and dance around, go for a walk, stand outside in the freezing cold and come back in so your energy is a little up. Do you need to stand up when you're on Zoom so you have higher energy, so you can use your body language and your hands like I do? Second, self-management. That means control your impulse to talk and sell yourself too much. So listening more when you first connect with those people. And then your social awareness piece. That's when, can you sense when people are like getting what you say? Can you sense when people are vibing with you? And if you can't, that needs help first. When people are on the same page as you, they lean closer to the camera. They show their hands. They shake their heads. Or maybe they put their head down and they're taking notes on a piece of paper. That's how you know they're on the same page with you. And then lastly, how are you going to manage the relationships? So if you connect with somebody today, what does it look like 3 weeks from now when it's time to reach back out to them? Now we're shortening that sales cycle this week for these 20 people, but what's the relationship management look like for you? What's the workflow? What's the follow-up sequence? So if I meet a new coach, what do I offer? I offer coach conversations. It's free. It's an awesome community. This month, we're talking about deepening your existing connections with a personal introducer. He's going to talk to us about that. And what's the management after that? Are they getting emails? Are they getting phone calls? Am I interacting with their post? I'm super intentional about it. And while you're at it, this week, toss your sales pitch. I'm going to ask you for 1 week to toss what you normally say, if it's salesy or spammy, and follow just what people want and need. So by listening, Sarah's clapping. I love that. So just by listening, having the self-awareness, showing up energized, listen to what they want and need. And if it's something from you, awesome. If it's not, refer to somebody else and be that value-driven person in their life. And if I refer, now sometimes I might be better at referring other people than inviting people to work with me, just because I know other people's businesses so well. But that's also attractive for people to be in my network, right? So if just 1 week, listen, have that high vibe energy when you show up and connect with people, whether it's a message, whether it's an email, or whether it's a phone call, and ditch that normal sales pitch and just listen for what they need. And last, anything you've already learned about sales is awesome information. But what truly moves people to that next step of buying with you, they have to know what you offer. So once you listen, and I'm going to use Denise as an example because I know her business so well. So say she meets somebody, and even if it's in the LinkedIn comments, and she sees that maybe it's something about sitting 10 hours a day at their desk, and they struggle to have the energy to work out. And she could easily provide some value from one of her experts or herself about a standing desk, about moving in the morning, right? Or foods to eat for more energy. So she could immediately give value to that person struggling without making her sales pitch. Denise says, ditch the pitch. Awesome. All right. Any questions? How are we doing so far? Good? Good? Okay. So after you're 20, I want you to start working down that list this week. And here's what we're going to say. First thing, you're going to each day, you're going to start today, if you have time. If not, tomorrow, you're going to reach out to the people on that list, whether it's on Instagram, LinkedIn, email, or phone. You're going to reach out. After you've reached out, take them off your list of 20 and move them over a column, and you're going to add a new person to that list of 20. So after you've connected, after you've made contact, or you've had a one-on-one, or you've had the phone call, you have to add another person to your list. So you can put a little check, and then you add a new person to the bottom. Okay? And then you're always adding new people as you meet them, as you interact, as you grow, as you expand your network. You're always adding more people to the list. And then when this gets to the exponential level, that's when you move to software doing it for you. But for right now, legal pad is fine. Now, if they don't respond to you, move this person to the bottom of the list and let them work their way back up. And that's when you try again. So somebody doesn't respond, just keep moving down your list. And then when it's time to start back over, meanwhile, you're adding new people at the bottom, one new person a day, one new ideal customer per day. And you start back over at the top and you go through. I love it. Awesome, John. So this direct outreach activity is every day. You'll reach out to one new person every day, each and every day, and then follow up with the people that you've already reached out to. Now, I also teach my clients to have a list of 20 people who are, I would call influencers, or maybe a little farther along than you in business, who do something similar to what you do, that you're going to interact with every day. And if you're feeling up for that, make that list of 20 people also. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, what do you like to do? What's your system to organize people? Is it a spreadsheet? Like, are you using a CRM? I'm just totally curious about the tool, because I like the systems.
I know. So I use two different things. For people who are interested in actually working with me, they've booked a discovery call, or we've had a one-on-one connection call. It goes to my CRM software, and I have two separate sequences of when I follow up with people. Most of it's personal, Most of it's, not an automated email or message. Most of it's personal. And that's for those people that come in through website or social media, but we've actually connected. Now, for total new people, I keep track of it in LinkedIn Messenger. I use an automated system to keep different lists of people in LinkedIn. So I have a list of coaches. I have a list of entrepreneurs. I have a list of mental performance coaches like me. And my software keeps those different lists of people. But the CRM, it has a sales pipeline, kind of like Salesforce, and I set it up. So I set it up so that people coming in through my website, people coming in through registering for an event, drop on a Google Excel sheet. And then from there, if I've met them personally, they go into the sequence. But that's just me. Some people that have a more automated thing that they do wouldn't want all that to be, personal. Denise could automate a little bit more of hers because it doesn't necessarily have to be a conversation with Denise herself to enroll in what she's doing. So it all depends on your unique offer. All right, any other questions?
Yeah, no
Okay.
questions, but massive thanks. I'm gonna have to jump off.
Okay, great
But
seeing you.
So much value. And if you want that on a video testimonial, happy to do that for you.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. See you on the internet. Bye.
Bye. Okay. How do we feel about this direct outreach this week? We feel okay? We feel good?
Suzanne, I want to tell you that I started feeling anxious. I don't know. But the
Mhm.
two things that you said that set me at my was to use your LinkedIn to fill your Zoom, because I already have a weekly Zoom and a monthly Zoom, right? So if I'm
Mhm.
just using my LinkedIn to fill my Zoom, I'm inviting people.
Mhm.
That's going to take away some of the angst that I had.
Yes.
I like the idea of that. It's almost like a revolving list, which makes everything seem much more organized and strategic versus just the basket of names that I usually think about. So thank
Yeah.
you for those two things.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I really feel like, you and I are so similar in our approach, our heart-centered approach to helping people. And to me, automated sequences don't give me what I need. So I had to find a way, and believe me, I tried listening to 40 other people, how they do it. And it didn't feel right for me to be reaching out to people like that. So when I heard about using it to fill your Zoom room, that idea, of course, I was already having Zoom events, right? But the idea of my social media content call to action is literally just to get people in the room with me and to feel that energy and I think you're the same way. I think Tom is the same way. I think Christos is the same way. I think Denise is the same way. Sarah, I haven't experienced any of your trainings, but just from meeting you, once people know you, like they're gonna want more. So what can you give away? How can you show up and fill that Zoom room and have those conversations with people? Really.
Yeah, he's amazing. You should, anything that you guys can get from, but it's what you said, right? So just listen to Suzanne, not Brendan, but it's that, have that commitment to showing up in service for people regularly, invite them into your Zoom room.
Mhm.
And then he'll usually say, then what's the small
Yeah.
thing you
Small
can sell?
ask.
And, right. What's the next thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's always with the focus of showing up in service.
Yeah. And it's funny that he was one of my first coaches I hired. Very, very, like, I resonated with his marketing message and how I learned so much in that program. He's really awesome. So small ask. What's the smallest thing you could ask people to do? Show up, give you their time. You know, that's super valuable. But how many coaches, and I'll be totally honest, my post today is going to be a little controversial because I have a bug up my my butt about something. And when I have a bug, like, I just need to tell other people that it shouldn't be like that. I love, you know, taking a stand against something. And what's that? It sounded like a dinosaur.
Yeah,
Was
it was
that
bad.
me? Was
Bad
that me?
background.
Was that me? It was a dinosaur. So I believe that when someone invests money to work with a coach, or in a group program, a one-on-one program, or even an online course, I think so many times we buy those things because we're told on the sales page that we're going to get everything we need. We're going to get this, we're going to get this, and it's going to be like this. And then we get into the program and it's not that. The course is not that. Or maybe we're not getting the strategy, we're only getting the tactics, or we're getting the tactics, but we're not getting the strategy. And I want to just say it's not about any of that. It's about actually meeting your ideal client and letting them know that you can help them. And if you're only selling something for $27 or $67 or $150, it's going to take a lot of work, a lot, to sell enough to support yourself. That's why I say, you know, have a higher ticket offer that you lead people to. But I think you can start with the $27 ask. But I think if you really know people, you can start with a $3,000 ask. You can start with a $5,000 ask. If somebody knows, likes, and trusts you, you don't have to start with a $27 thing. So which would you rather do? If you have a $3,000 offer, would you rather people get to know you for a year and then they buy your $3,000 thing? Or would you rather sell them something for $27 in hopes that you can warm them up to $3,000? It's really up to you. They both work. You just have to decide what resonates with you. Go ahead, Denise.
So you and I had this conversation yesterday. The tactic that you're talking about with the $27 thing, what I'm noticing time and again, this is a great strategy for a funnel sales kind of thing that is automated. So, because how many times, I mean, we've done this. How many times have you bought somebody's $27 thing? You have no idea who they are, but it sounds good. And that's really, your way of getting people to know you. So I do believe that offer is important, that it's a good offer, but I would agree with Suzanne that, that's something you should really kind of have as an automated thing to draw people in. When you're talking to somebody and even you're feeling a connection, there's no reason to say, I have this $27 per, little whatever, that, leads into something else. So why not just kind of go into the something else? Well,
I say just give them the $27 thing.
Should be part of the $5,000. That
I don't know. I mean, I have a $27 thing that I just created yesterday. Literally yesterday. Now, do you want it? Like, it's how to build instant rapport with people. And, it's a little take on some of the things we talked about today, but in a little bit more detail. I'll share it with all of you. It like $27. What is that going to do for the bottom line of my business? But if it's going to nurture somebody, it's going to help someone, it's going to lift somebody in my community's business up, It's also going to help them know exactly what I do with my clients in a different way. So yeah, automated funnels are great, but what are you trying to accomplish? So how many $27 things, $47 things have I bought? I've never ended up being one of those people ever.
I've done it twice as a coach. But it's, again, it's still one of those things, you know, I think it's important to have and for it to be strategic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Very good.
You know, I don't know who told me this. It might have been you, Suzanne. I literally can't remember where I heard it, but I was teaching my participants this. The know, like, trust thing is so important in a different way. It's concentric circles, right? And if you are stuck with where to start with those with the 20 people, start with the ones who trust you. Once you've exhausted them, go to the ones who like you. And then once you've exhausted those, go to the ones who know you. And if you build out like that, you actually build quick wins because you're starting with the people who already have the relationship with you. I can't remember who told me that, but I thought, I love that. That's another way to.
Yeah, I describe it a little bit different. You know, like your inner circle, know, like, and trust you, and then, you know, moving out, but very similar. Very similar. All right. Questions, comments? I'm here for 15 more minutes. So what do you need? What do you need help with the most out of everything we talked about today? I'm going to grab you the link to the Google document for the training I put together yesterday. And it's going to be a video training, but I'm giving you the script and all the details. So it will be a video training eventually. Questions? Help? Insights?
Suzanne, I have one. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So let me get an idea of the process. You told us like we have 20 people, right? And then we reach out to some of them, or like all of them probably, and then we move them to the people who we reached out to, and then we fill until we have 20 again, right?
Yes.
That's the idea.
So
Okay,
once you get in touch with somebody, so once you've had a conversation, whether it's email, phone, you know, some sort of voice message back and forth, use LinkedIn's voice feature that speeds up the vibe of it, right? So when I send a voicemail to somebody, they feel my energy more than me just typing the message. So try that. Try those voice message. And then once you connect, once you get a response, not just out, but once you get a response, that person goes to the bottom of the list, and of course, continue that conversation if it's going somewhere. But if it's not going somewhere, if they just say, oh, okay, thank you, or no thanks, then they go to the bottom of the list. Or they say no thank you, they don't want to connect with you, they don't want to come to your event, then cross them off the list, move on.
So do we need an event to do that, or can we invite like people to one-on-one calls?
Absolutely one-on-one. You could have an event, sure, but we're trying to
because I don't have one right now, to be honest.
Yeah. If you're trying to get a client by Friday, no, we're trying to speed up that process a little bit. That's why I recommend to my clients to have a monthly event that's theirs. You know, the third Wednesday of the month, you can guarantee I'm having a 7 p.m. event. I'm also exploring having a daytime event at a different time during the month for those people like you who are in a different time zone. I have a lot of coaches I'm connected with in the UK. So they don't want to come at 7 o'clock at night because it's, you know, midnight for them.
Indeed. And we appreciate that a lot. Thank you. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All
right. I put the
okay,
link.
got it. And how would you, my apologies,
No,
speaking
go ahead.
over you. How
No,
would
go ahead.
you frame the first message? Like just to get an idea, how would you frame it?
What are you trying to sell by Friday?
Let's say, I don't want to say coaching because we don't sell coaching, but let's say like a one-on-one transformational offer. Let's frame it like
Okay.
that.
Okay. So I would go to that person's profile, do your research. Out of those
Mhm.
questions, what can you find common ground with? Oh, maybe they have a podcast, maybe they wrote an article. Find that common thing to message them about. If you have someone in mind, go to their profile and look through their last 5 posts, see what they're talking about. If they're not posting on LinkedIn, they're not posting on Facebook, it makes it a little more difficult. You could reach out.
Definitely, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, you could reach out with I'm doing some research on people with blank job title. So
Mhm.
whatever their job title is. Hey, I'm reaching out to the lawyers I'm connected with, and I'm wondering if you struggle with any of the following. Da, 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 da.
Okay, got it.
No,
Like let's say an interview thing, a little
yeah,
bit of asking
yeah.
them some questions. Got it.
Yep. And if you don't get a response there, this would work for Denise's potential people too. Reaching out with some value. If they say, yeah, I struggle, I sit all day, I've gained 20 pounds in the last year, struggling a little bit with that, then send some value. Send an article you wrote or send a podcast appearance you've been on. Hey, this might be helpful. Now, if somebody's posting on LinkedIn regularly, then that's the perfect time to engage in their content and respond accordingly.
Got it. And then we build some rapport, I guess, and then eventually we invite them to an one-on-one call, like down through the week, let's say Wednesday, Thursday, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love to get
Okay.
to know more about what you do. I work with, this is what I say. I work with a lot of different entrepreneurs, and I'd love to know more about what you do and get you connected to my incredible community. Now, somebody who's interested in community, somebody whose ideal client is also entrepreneurs, is going to be interested in connecting with me. Now, I don't know yet if they're my ideal client or not, but they are definitely somebody who could be in my community or a good connection referral partner for me. And I'll use Tom as an example. I knew I wanted a story brand coach in my community. I told him that when I first, where have you been my entire life? I said to him, how can I get you into my community? How can we, I knew I wanted somebody like him. And then once we talked, I've met other story brand coaches, but his take on it is my take. Like his way he does things is the way I do things. So of course there was instant, how do we work together? How do we do this? How do we make this? How do I refer clients to you? How does he refer clients to me? We decided immediately, how about, Tom, you experience what I do and I experience what you do, and we actually go through it with each other. And then, I don't know what we're going to create together, but it's been magical meeting the right person with the right knowledge and the right outlook. So that's what you're filtering for. You're filtering for those people who get you, feel you, know what you have to offer, and maybe they're a client of yours, but even more importantly, they know you, like you, trust you, and can refer you to other people. So we're looking at this, long term. Maybe the seeds work for a client, but maybe they work for all of your other connection purposes also.
Got it. No, that makes sense, of course. And last one, I promise.
No, it's okay.
How do you nourish these connections? I mean, if you have like so many people going, so many conversations going on, how can you actually spend enough time with each person to actually create a relationship and not lose track of that?
Well, I do use this automation platform, but that just started. Again, it comes back to my list of 20 people that I'm currently nurturing as clients, and my list of 20 people who provide content that I find valuable that I interact with. It always comes back to that list of 20 people. And I could give that list of 20 people out at any time. Like, I know I go to their profiles and I see what they posted today. If it's relevant, I comment. I interact with them all the time. And I would say keeping track of it, well, I'm a little ADD and I have an awesome memory when it comes to stuff like that, people's names. But within the past year, I was tested a little bit I wasn't doing as good a job. So I needed, everybody to go onto a spreadsheet. Did I connect with everybody? Did I follow up? And then once they're done on the spreadsheet, they move into my CRM. So I only within the past year got intentional about that. So I would say,
Got it.
Until your coaching practice is full and you have a 3-week wait list to have a one-on-one call with you, don't worry about the system. Keep it on paper and just connect with people. Expand that network.
Love it. Perfect, Suzanne. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Anybody else?
Oh, I'm in a mindset to meet some people, so I'll go
do it. All right, go do it. Go take action. Now, here's your homework. Your list, reach out to me. You can send me a direct message in the community if you want. That notification comes right up on my phone. For my clients that are here in this room, just text me, let me know how you're doing. I know 2 of you are still working on your list of 20 people. So let's get that moving, please. Thank you. Yeah, Nolan.
I was gonna say I have a hard time with my list of 20 because there's so many people. So it's like, how do I build the ideal person? And then when I do, how do I locate those people? So that's kind of the issue that I'm looking at right now. But some people came to mind, so I wrote them down.
Okay.
But yeah, I just got to build that out more.
Yeah. And remember that, because you're kind of B2B, with both of your situations, you're looking for people who can be customers here and customers here. So look for the ones who could be both first, and that'll kind of help you filter who you're connecting with.
Okay.
Okay. Good job. Sarah, any questions before we go? No, you're good? All right. So what you're going to do once you're done and you've started to work on this week, I'm going to hear from you. And then on Friday, if you've actually had some conversations and they're to the point where you're going to have a one-on-one, connect with me and we'll jump on Zoom on Friday and we'll talk about what to say, how to say it, what to say. If you want to do one-on-one with me, awesome. I put the link, save the chat. I put the link to the Google Doc for building rapport, how to do that, what to say, all of those good things. And don't make it harder than it has to be. It can really be easy.
Guilty.
Me too, sister.